Hey team, welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you clicked on this video and I hope you find what you're looking for. My name is Rachel Anita and I like to do videos about Washington D.C, living there, working there, career stuff, lifestyle stuff in general. Just some background on me and why I'm qualified to post this video. I have lived and worked in Washington D.C. for the past, I don't know, since 2017. So I've been here for a little while and I've lived and worked in different parts of the city, and I really love it and I hope I can persuade you to come here. But I'm only going to be covering 3 neighborhoods today. These 3 neighborhoods I visited last weekend just to capture some footage and set the scene. So I just wanted to give you some ideas about what to know before moving to DC. The first thing is that costs are high. I come from California, so costs have always been high for me, but I know that other people moving from other parts of the country have been surprised by the cost here. And I don't want to surprise you. And it's definitely something that you should consider before moving here. Another thing, if you are new to DC and working in politics, probably fresh out of undergrad, something to consider is that you'll probably be living in a group home your first year or 2, just because, like I said, costs are really high, and that's what a lot of people who recently moved to DC who have just graduated college do because of costs. This is the only way to really stay under $900 for a place to live, or under, actually, it's the only way to stay under $1,400 for a place to live, getting a room in a shared house. A lot of other people I know have had to live with more than 3 people, sometimes up to 6, 7, in order to keep costs low, and I'm going to go over some of the areas where you can do that if you want to keep costs low. However, if you're coming into DC with a higher salary, or you've worked here or you've been in the workforce for a long time and you're making, yeah, like I said, a bigger salary, then you will probably be looking at the 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartments, depending on your lifestyle that I'm going to be showing in these videos. I'm going to be covering a variety of neighborhoods. Some more well known than others, and I think 2 of these have not been talked about very much in other videos. So you're gonna find something a little different here than what is usually talked about in other videos. So let's start in Brooklyn/University Heights. Brooklyn is a quiet neighborhood located in the northeastern quadrant of Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is divided into 4 quadrants: the northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. And you're going to hear that a lot when you move to DC. So Brooklyn is located in the northeast quadrant. I recorded this content on a holiday, so there's people milling about, but not too many. And that's what you're going to see a lot in Brooklyn. I would say it's a quiet neighborhood with a lot of college students milling about, with young families, young professionals, that sort of thing. It has a number of popping hip places, such as cool restaurants that are really well known in Washington, D.C., as well as breweries. I would say it has almost everything you need to live here. If you're up near the University Heights area, so I'm going to be talking about 2 areas in Brooklyn. So there's going to be like the Brooklyn strip on 12th Street, up near University Heights, and then just 12th Street. So something great about this area is that there is a metro. So if you're up near the University Heights area, the Brooklyn CUA metro is located there. It is on the Red Line, which goes through the heart of the city. It goes literally up and down the center of the city, and then it goes into the northwest. So this metro gives you really easy access to places such as DuPont Circle, Shaw, Adams Morgan, and there's a lot of people working in DuPont Circle area, so it could be a good place to live if you are working in that area. If you live here or want to live here, I recommend checking out places such as Busboys and Poets. This is a classic DC place. I would say locals don't really go there, but if you just moved there, you should definitely check it out because you'll probably be asked about it, and it's an easy thing to recommend to tourists when they come. Another thing, there's also Calabash, which is really, really great. There's Brooklyn Pint and the Stone Brewery? No, Right Proper Brewery. So there's like a lot of breweries in the area, lots of places for good restaurants. And then there's also Menemale, which is a Italian restaurant on 12th Street that is super well known. Another thing, so if you're going closer, if you're going down 12th Street, so University Heights is up here, Brooklyn is here, and if you're going further south towards Brentwood, there is a metro that is Rhode Island Avenue and Brentwood. So that is another metro that can take you places. So you can typically find a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in the area for about $1.3 to $1.5 thousand if you're not looking for an excess of amenities. I would say the downside of living in this area is that there's not many groceries in the area besides Yes Organic, which is in University Heights. So that is something that I would say is a downside. It would be okay to have a car here because it's kind of further out from the center of the city and you can park. So having a car might help you with the grocery problem. So I am now going to be looking down at my computer just to show you some of the apartments that are in Brooklyn and just show you some options of what it looks like here to live in Brooklyn. So here's an apartment that is $1,225 a month. It is a 1-bed, 1-bath. I would say this is a pretty standard apartment in Washington, D.C. You're gonna see a lot of older styles, hardwood flooring such as this, bathrooms with old tile structures, nothing really too new. This kitchen I would say is pretty standard. I would say this price is actually amazing. And it looks like it has everything one would need. And this one is also great because it's 3 blocks from the Brooklyn CUA metro station. It's 1 block from Michigan Ave, which is a big street. And it's really close to a lot of restaurants, such as like Busboys and Poets, there's Chipotle, Starbucks. I think there's an Orange Theory Fitness in that area. So there's a lot going on and you could make it cute. Okay, so now we'll look at some of the fancier apartments in the area. This one is on Monroe Street and it's called the Monroe. As you can see here, it has a lot of the trendy amenities that one might want. It looks like there's like outdoor seating, fire pits, a gym, that looks great. Looks like there's a co-working space. So let's keep going. So this is what the apartment looks like. It looks like there's a lot of natural light, higher ceilings, cute bed, trendy looking kitchen, the cool blue wall, right? And this would be $1,726 for a 1-bed. If you prioritize gym and the aesthetic of a nicer place, you're going to be paying a little bit more. So $1,726 in this area, I think that's pretty good for a 1-bedroom in Washington, D.C. Now let's head over to the Petworth, Columbia Heights area. So Petworth is located north of Columbia Heights, but both are located in the northwest quadrant of Washington, D.C. They're technically different neighborhoods, but I've lumped them together because they both lie on 14th Street, and you can easily get in between them. In Petworth, the rent is a little bit higher, with the median rent at $19.97 for a 1-bedroom apartment. Transportation for these areas include the Georgia Avenue Metro Station, which is located closer to the Petworth area, and the Columbia Heights Metro Station, which is located in the Columbia Heights area. I would say the vibes here are like hipster, but also traditional DC. You see people from all backgrounds here, and it's a lot of fun to walk around in. This one I would say is a little less safe than Brooklyn. A lot of young progressives live in Columbia Heights. That might have been changing, but for when I first moved here and knew a lot of people living in the area, a lot of young progressives live in group homes in the Columbia Heights Petworth area. It seems to be affordable for them, and it just, yeah. Hotspots in the area include Taqueria Habanero, which is a really good Mexican spot. There's this really cute bar called Red Derby. Jake and I, my husband and I, went there on one of our earlier dates. It has a lot of great selection of beer and lots of other things. There's Little Coco's, which is a great place to check out. And then the Columbia Town Heights Center has like a ton of different things. There's a lot of really good ethnic food in the area, particularly Salvadoran, Ethiopian. Dang. So now let's look at apartments in Petworth, Columbia Heights. Okay, so this is the Petworth, Columbia Heights area. I'm going to show you where it is in respect to Brooklyn. So Brooklyn is right over here. So we basically cross the university and hospital, that's Catholic University, and you get to Petworth and Brookland. So let's zoom in a little bit and start looking at apartments. As you can see here, you immediately see that the prices start to go up. The first one that pops up is $1,900, bigger square footage, but you're gonna see a lot of basement apartments in this area. So here's an example of one. It's $1,800. I think this looks like a basement apartment. Yes, looks like a basement apartment. Shows some of the stuff that's going on, the food. And then, so that's an example of one. Let's take a look at another one. And here's like a nicer place, trendier, newer. It looks like the one bed around here is $1,800, $1,900, going up from there. And it looks nice. That's about how much you would be paying for an apartment right next to the metro in Petworth, Georgia Avenue area. Here's one for 1.4K. This doesn't look as nice on the outside, but the inside looks nice enough, I would say. I think this looks like a nice place. Again, it's not one of those trendy new places. It's in an older building, but looks like it's good enough for me. I would definitely live here. $1,425 for 525 square feet, and you can't go wrong. It's right next to 14th Street, so you're gonna get a lot of different things happening there as well. So that's Columbia Heights. I personally really like the area. I don't know if it's my favorite space. I think I would live in Brooklyn over Columbia Heights, but that's just my personal vibe. I like quieter. Columbia Heights is louder. There's more people mulling about. There's more bars. There's just more happening there. So for maybe like I would have enjoyed it a little bit more if I was a little bit younger, or if I had just graduated college and was trying to make a lot of friends. Now let's head over to Cleveland Park. Cleveland Park is a leafy, beautiful area located in Northwest DC on Connecticut Avenue. Connecticut Avenue is a very well-known road in Washington DC that like goes through the very tippy top of the Northwest and it goes down. And it is also located in the northwest quadrant of Washington DC. This area encompasses a smaller piece of Washington DC than the other two. I would say the main features of it are located on one road on Columbia Ave, probably between 2 or 3 blocks. And these blocks contain everything one might need. The buildings tend to be older in a more classic Washington DC style rather than a modern style, and I personally love this neighborhood. A 1-bedroom will go for about $1,700, so we can look at some apartments here as well. Transportation includes the Cleveland Park Metro, which is once again in those few blocks that you would go to a lot, and it is very convenient. It is on the red line again, and it can take you down to DuPont Circle very quickly. It can also take you to the zoo very quickly, so that's a perk about living here. I would say that the vibes are more a lot of young families, a lot of DC transplants, more established professionals, and longtime locals. I would say I don't see as many younger people here, probably because they're like, oh, like, let's go to Columbia Heights, I want to live in DuPont Circle. But Cleveland Park is where it's at. It's quiet, it's beautiful, it's lots of nature. They have delicious restaurants. Hotspots for me include Al Volo, which is my favorite Italian restaurant in Washington DC. Definitely check it out. They have a location in Adams Morgan as well. And this Ugyr West, I'm not pronouncing that right, restaurant that is really good. They also have a Target there, grocery stores, Cold Stone Creamery for ice cream lovers, and yeah, I'm just a big fan. But now, let's check out the apartments. So again, this is Cleveland Park, and again, I love this area. The metro is located right there, and it's really close to a lot of natural areas such as Rock Creek Park, and you can access the park very easily through this neighborhood. Again, it's very leafy, a lot more natural, so if you're looking for that, this is definitely a neighborhood to check out. So most of where everything is where that little yellow area is in the center. So as you can see, apartments here range from about 1.6 to 2,000. So this is an example of a one that's 1.6. There's no pictures here, but you can see the layout. So here's another one. Let's take a look at this next one. At Porter Ave, that's 1.56. And this one is a lot more classic style. There's really big windows, there's hardwood floors. The kitchen fulfills everything that you might need. I personally really like this apartment. I love crown molding and I love shiny hard floors, and I love the more classic look of certain apartments in this area. So this is definitely one that I would consider moving into, especially for the area. Like I said, it's very cozy and natural and just beautiful. So let's look at another example of an apartment. Let's see what we can find here. So there are some that, this one's $13.99. So this one's also an older style. Looks like there's crown molding, there are big windows, there's a radiator, so it looks like radiator heat. Looks like you can get a one bed that's 350 square feet for $1,400. That's pretty small, but something to consider if you want to stay in a budget. No photos, unhelpful. But these are $1,600 for a one bed. The kitchen looks a little outdated, but there you are. There's hardwood flooring, lots of cabinet space, and it looks really well lit. So if you don't want to live quite in the center of the area, then that might be an option, because you could just walk, probably a 10-minute walk to the center or less. It's really nice. Or they just staged it really nice. The bedroom looks really small though, so that's probably why it's so cheap. But I would definitely look into this place. They staged it nicely. I don't know. Looks like there's parking available. Parking is a little harder in this area. That is something to note. But yeah, that is Cleveland Park. Again, I really love Cleveland Park. Out of this three, I think I would love Cleveland Park the most. Jake and I were actually looking into buying a home here, a condo, but we ended up choosing elsewhere. So yeah, that's Cleveland Park. Okay everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot and I hope you answered some of your questions. I hope to see some of you milling about the Brooklyn or Columbia Heights or Cleveland Park area. Let me know if I helped you out at all, or if you have any questions about living in the area. I'm gonna actually come out with more videos soon about other neighborhoods that I really like. I just could only fit 3 in this video. So make sure to stay tuned, subscribe, and let me know if you want to hear about a particular neighborhood, because I'm happy to do that for you. Thanks again so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all soon.